Welcome to Mishna study, Masechet Demai Perek Zayin Mishnah here. In this Mishnah, we're going to speak about a person who's rushing home on a Friday afternoon, and he's not sure if he's going to make it home in time to separate Trumot and Ma'asrot. Now, once Shabbat rolls in, he's stuck. He's not going to be able to eat any of those fruits and vegetables. So what could he do on his way home? Right? What is this? What do the Chachamim allow you to do in order so you can eat on Shabbat? Right? This is, some of us can relate to this, right? Rushing home on a Friday afternoon. So, היו לו תאנים של תבל בתוך ביתו, והוא בבית המדרש או בשדה, אומר, שתי התאנים שאני עתיד להפריש, הרי הן תרומה, ו10 מעשר, ו9 מעשר שני. היו דמאי, אומר, מה שאני עתיד להפריש מחר, הרי הוא מעשר, ושאר מעשר סמוך לו. זה שעשיתי מעשר עשוי תרומת מעשר עליו, מעשר שני בצפונו או בדרומו, ומחולל על המעות. Right, so a person has ta'anim of tevel. Tevel is 100%. Nothing was separated from it. He needs to separate all tirumot and ma'asrot, and it's in his house, and he's still in the Bet Midrash learning. Or he's in the Sadeh, still in the field, he's working, he didn't make it home yet. And now he's on his way home, and now he's worried that he's not going to make it home before Shabbat rolls in. So what could he do? So he says beforehand, before he gets home, right, he starts to say, the 2 figs that I'm going to, in the future, right, I'm going to separate, that's going to be Tirumah. And 10 and 10 is going to be Ma'aser, and 9 is going to be Ma'aser Sheni. Right, so he's basically going through the process in advance, right? Say, this is what I'm going to separate. Again, right, we need to say that there is birera, huvrar hadavar, right? And what he leaves over afterwards, right, at the end, that's what he intended to separate. Right? So this also is not la halacha, right? Rather, he actually needs to separate that from beforehand, right? Because it's talking about tevel deoraita, right? It's something that's deoraita. Nothing was taken from it. You need to go ahead and separate it first, right? You can't just leave it for the end and say, oh, what I left, that was the tiruma, right? So you can't say this from the beginning. But hayu demai, let's say it was demai. Demai, that's derabanan law, okay? So what do we do? What's the case in this Mishnah, in this part? Masha, what I'm going to separate tomorrow is going to be Ma'aser. And the rest of the Ma'aser is near it, right? So you have the Tirumat Ma'aser and the Ma'aser, right? That 10% is all going to be lumped together. When I made Ma'aser, this one is going to be Tirumat Ma'aser for it. That's all he needs to separate is Tirumat Ma'aser. And Ma'aser Sheni is going to be in the north or south, redeemed onto coins. And he leaves over the Tirumat Ma'aser, right? 1% of the total, right? 10% of 10%. He leaves that one piece at the bottom, and that's it. He leaves that. And we do say, in this case, that there is birera, right? There is retroactively what he left at the very bottom that is considered the Tirumat Ma'aser. Why is that considered the Tirumat Ma'aser? And the first part of the Mishnah, we didn't, we say the halacha is not like the first half of the Mishnah. So the reason we say that is because the first half of the Mishnah is deoraita, so we see halacha is not like it, rather like the general rule that we have, that if it's deoraita, there is no birera, there is no retroactive, figuring out. But when it comes to the Rabbanan, you can retroactively appoint this as the Tirumat Ma'aser, and then he could go ahead and make this condition from before Shabbat and eat on Shabbat itself.